Hi, this is Billie Beene here with a U.S. News Flash Update. Today's date, September 27, 2024. Time in Texas about 1 p.m. This is U.S. episode 242. So let's get started. I have a Patriot subscriber who says, 3 years ago in Long Island, a storm was predicted to come in as a tropical storm, but it came in as a category 1 to 2. And we had no electricity or cable for 8 days. So that's going on. Yeah, there are indications that, some geoengineering certainly occurred with Beryl and possibly with Helene. So here's an update on Helene. Helene is still packing a life-threatening punch. So it came in at the Florida Big Bend area near Osceola River. And currently the eye is over Valdosta, Georgia, with tropical storm winds of 40 miles per hour. And then it came into Florida Thursday night about 11 a.m. and it came in storm surge. One source I found said it matched the Katrina storm surge. Katrina storm surge was 25 to 28 feet above sea level. So it appears that the predictions for a storm surge in Florida of 18 to 20 feet is accurate. We know that today millions of people are without electricity in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. It's impacting Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Virginia. Today in North Carolina, there's a dam is imminent to collapse. Mandatory evacuations have been given for some areas. So back to Helene and Florida. So it came in, made landfall, did bring in the unsurvivable levels of storm surge. It's unknown now how far inland the storm surge went. We'll have to wait for assessments by Florida Transportation. I would imagine the DOT would be out in helicopters looking at roads and bridges and so on. Now, the prediction by Texas Weather Center that was contrary to my understanding of hurricanes was that Helene would come on shore, and historically hurricanes diminish in strength and slow down. Texas Weather Center said it would speed up to 20 to 25 miles per hour, and that's exactly what we did see after it made landfall about 11 a.m. By about 12:30 or 1. The National Hurricane Center was documenting its forward speed at 24 miles per hour. Today, up in this area, its forward speed is 32 miles per hour. Now, BPEARTHWATCH documented that it came across Florida and went up the east coast, but maintained some parts of it over the Atlantic Ocean, thus fueling it. Now it's up in this area, North Carolina and Virginia, and it's because of the wide diameter of winds, 345 miles. It's impacting Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky. Today, it's predicted to make its left turn and will begin impacting these parts of the U.S. Currently, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia are under warnings for tropical storm force winds, catastrophic flash flooding, and so far there have been 4 deaths officially advised. One was in Florida when a sign fell on his vehicle. 2 in Georgia due to a tornado hitting their home. 1 in North Carolina when a tree fell on the person. So BP Earthwatch, in North Carolina, near the Broad River, which feeds into Lake Lure Dam, the Rutherford County Emergency has advised citizens to evacuate certain roads because the Lake Lure Dam is imminent for collapse. And this is just south of Knoxville. So that's going on. And now we have this. Hal Turner gives this information out. A recent FBI whistleblower testifying before Congress, a Mr. Allen, gives this advice to American citizens that you should vote, you should exercise your Second Amendment rights, and you should stock up on 3 to 4 months of food and water and so on, and you should pray. Yeah, I expect to see different things going on in the U.S. as we approach October and near the time of a historic vote in the U.S. Now, this is coming out. Hal Turner and Dr. William Mount and others are reporting. October 1, we can see a strike at ports all along the U.S. and into the Gulf. We have 85,000 longshoremen are going to strike. This will be their first strike since 1977, and it's over a dispute about wages. These ports along the East Coast and into the Gulf supply the U.S. with 50% of our incoming supply. So recommendations now are, especially if you need a car part, you might want to buy it now, or winter clothes. Now, with regard to what's going on in the weather, we just saw Helene make a intensification, shoot the gap here between the Yucatan and from the Caribbean. We have a second system that, according to the Texas Weather Center, is going to be in the Gulf. And we may see a repeat of Helene in 7 to 10 days. So we need to be in prayer. And now we have this from Washington Examiner. We're seeing more and more states do something about their voter rolls. And in North Carolina, the State Board of Elections has been working for the past 20 months. And they have removed from their voter rolls 747,000. This includes individuals who are deceased, duplicate registrations, individuals who have moved out of states, and other categories. So we see a forward move in our voting process. And I say we need to be in prayer for all of these people along the East Coast who are now being impacted. There are millions of people without electricity. And based on Texas experience with Beryl, it's anticipated that some people in Florida, where we see a duplicate of what happened in Texas with our power grid infrastructure being destroyed to the ground. The same thing is being put forth for Florida. Plus, we have that storm surge, and it's unknown. It's possible it went in 20 miles inland. And now we're having similar things and tornadoes, catastrophic flash flooding going on in Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, up into Virginia. And this storm now is to make a turn to the left. So we'll see additional states. But we'll be keeping my eye on this system making up near the Yucatan and predicted to be in the Gulf very soon. It's good to pray for America and for our upcoming election in November. I believe we'll see more and more strange things happening. I love you, and I'll see you soon.